Did you ever watch pro players and wonder how do they always win their fights when they W key? Well, today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to smartly W key if you're not that good at fighting. First tip is that you need to make sure that you start the fight with an advantage. How can you get an advantage? Well, there are different kinds of advantage. The main one is health advantage. Your initial action in a fight can be the most crucial part in you winning that fight. If you can get a good pump shot or an AR beam or even a snipe, then you will be at a massive advantage against the other player. In this clip, you can see Polarized get a massive hit with the pump, which gives him health advantage to finish off the fight. This will not only drain their HP, but also mess with their mindset, making them rethink their fighting strategy, which will make them panic and oftentimes lead to them making a mistake. Having an advantage will increase your chances of winning the fight by 10 times than if you started the fight with no advantage. Here's a bonus tip: if you have an unfair advantage such as good ping or really good FPS, then you can use that to base your playstyle off of that advantage. I know this sounds unethical, but abusing your unfair advantage, whether it's in life or Fortnite, can really get you a long way. We all agree that not always will we have an advantage, but we can use some techniques which will divert the chances of you winning the fight from 30 to 60 or 70%, depending on how well you use it. Counter damage. The best types of counter damage are safe right hand peeks or my favorite, pre-fires. Here in this clip, we can see Polarized get hit by his opponent. So what does he do? He beautifully executes a pre-fire, which changes the tempo of the fight and increases the chances of Polarized winning the fight. I'm telling you, if you can master pre-fires, then the chances of you being at a disadvantage in fights will decrease massively. While pressuring a box, if someone has their blueprints and pencil out, that means they're holding their builds out. And if you see that pencil moving in their hand, that means they're about to edit, which you can use to either place a ramp to block their shot or pre-firing right before they edit. You need to have quick reflexes, as noticing the pencil moving is not easy at all. And realistically, the more you play and face different opponents, the better you'll be at predicting their actions. The next tip to fight smarter is that you need to make sure that you're not the first one to make a mistake. While in a fight, always look to see if your opponent is making an error, and once you see it, you should quickly react to capitalize on that mistake and give yourself an upper hand in the fight. Never be the first one to initiate an error, as this can drop your chances of winning. Some big mistakes players make are doing a wide edit with no protection or doing a right hand peek without being fully covered. Here in this clip, you can see Polarized get lasered hard, and I will let you guys watch the clip to try and notice the mistake the opponent makes. The opponent gets a beam on Polarized, which is a great way to start the fight with an advantage, as I said in tip 1. So now Polarized needs to get some counter damage. So what does he do? He waits for the opponent to make the mistake of blatantly spraying the wall, even though he sees Polarized with his shotgun out waiting to pre-fire. If you notice it, then give yourself a point. Polarized then swiftly capitalizes on it and diverts the atmosphere of the fight to where now he controls it and reads the motion of the opponent to then drop down and piece below to get a free kill. An important aspect of the game which all pros follow is to never play predictable. Whenever you're in a fight, always make sure you change the pattern of your playstyle to not let the opponent get a hold of how you play, which will make them confused and rethink their strategies constantly. Polarized does this in this fight beautifully. He makes sure not to swing on the same wall more than 2 times and constantly switches between them. He also plays in a slow fashion at the start, but then quickly changes up into a fast-paced action and then switches up into kind of like a hiding like a rat, trying to surprise the opponent, which will confuse the player and make them nervous. Now we will move on to some of the quick and basic tips that you guys have to know while fighting. In fights, when you have the health advantage, do not let the opponent heal. Once you hit the other player for a good amount, you need to pressure them as much as possible. You should know when to reload your guns and don't give them any time to even breathe. Mastering how to pressure a box really differentiates a good fighter with a bad fighter. Never double swing on a wall if you know your opponent is directly behind it, as they can edit while you're mid-swing, which can lead to you taking damage or worse, taking a pump to the face. We can see Peterbot here where he makes sure not to swing on a wall more than once at a time. This will make him unpredictable to the opponent and will save him from getting caught off guard. If you have a loud pickaxe, that's also a disadvantage, as the other player can hear you pickaxing and edit on you when you least expect it. We have all been in a scenario where our opponent is full boxed and surrounded by our builds. What most players do is make a giant edit which will lead to a 50-50 with the opponent, but a safer option is to make a right hand peek or selecting the top 3 tiles on a wall and make a horizontal edit which you can use to hide behind. This will ensure you are in a safe place and where you cannot get hit for a lot, which will save you from any potential one pumps by the opponent. And the last advice is to always be protected while W keying. I see many beginners make the mistake of standing in the open while pressuring a box, which makes them a juicy feast for a sniper bullet right into the brain. Here we can see Peterbot box fighting an opponent in an endgame. And notice how he makes sure he's protected from every angle while pressuring this box. He again does this to avoid getting shot from potential third parties, which can lead to him getting lobby focused. So you should always protect yourself from walls or ramps in places where you can face shots from third party to avoid getting focused. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more fighting tips, then make sure to watch my 50 secret tips and tricks video. Join my Discord, link is in the description, and good night.